Every morning before the sun climbed out of the sea, old fisherman Kareem pushed his small wooden boat into the quiet water. The village still slept, wrapped in the blue-grey mist of dawn, while gulls cried softly above him. Kareem's boat creaked like an old friend, and his fishing net lay folded beside him, patched, faded and heavy with years of use. People in the village often laughed at that net. "It's too old," they said. "It brings only weeds and broken shells." But Kareem never listened. To him, the net was not just rope and knots. It was hope tied together by patience. Kareem was not rich. His hut stood near the shore, and his meals were simple. Some days he caught enough fish to sell and eat, and some days he returned with almost nothing. Yet he greeted each morning with the same calm smile, whispering a prayer as he cast his net into the sea. He believed that the ocean had moods, just like people, and if you treated it kindly, it would remember you. One morning, the sea looked unusually still, like a giant mirror. Kareem rowed farther than usual, guided by a feeling he could not explain. When he threw his net, it sank slowly, disappearing into the deep green water. He waited, feeling the gentle pull of the waves rocking his boat. When he finally began to pull the net back, it felt heavier than ever before. "Ah," Kareem muttered, his arms trembling, "perhaps today the sea is generous." As the net rose, it did not sparkle with silver fish as he expected. Instead, it carried strange things: old bottles, a torn sandal, bits of wood, and thick strands of seaweed. The net looked like a basket of forgotten junk. Kareem sighed, his arms ached, but he did not curse the sea. He carefully untangled the rubbish and placed it in a corner of the boat. Then something unusual caught his eye. At the very bottom of the net, tangled among the weeds, was a small chest made of dark wood. It was no bigger than a bread box, and its surface was carved with faded patterns. Kareem's heart beat faster. Slowly, carefully, he opened it. Inside were not gold coins or jewels, but something far more unexpected: neatly folded fishing maps, an old compass, and a letter sealed in wax. Kareem unfolded the letter with shaking hands. The ink was faded, but the words were still clear. It was written by a fisherman from many years ago, someone who had sailed these waters long before Kareem was born. The letter spoke of secret fishing grounds where fish gathered in great numbers, protected by reefs and currents. The maps inside the chest showed paths through dangerous waters, paths only experienced fishermen could understand. Kareem sat quietly for a long time, listening to the waves. He felt as if the sea itself had trusted him with a secret. That very day, he followed one of the marked routes on the map. The journey was difficult. Sharp rocks hid beneath the surface, and strong currents tried to push his boat off course. But Kareem remembered the patience he had learned over a lifetime. Slowly, carefully, he reached the spot marked with a simple singular circle drawn by a steady hand. He cast his net. When he pulled it back, the net shimmered with life. Fish of every size filled it, their scales flashing like sunlight on water. Kareem laughed out loud, a sound carried far across the sea. For the first time in many years, his boat sat low in the water, heavy with abundance. Word spread quickly in the village. People watched in amazement as Kareem returned day after day with full baskets of fish. The same villagers who once mocked his old net now whispered about its magic. "It's a lucky net," they said. "That net brings fortune." But Kareem knew the truth. One afternoon, a group of young fishermen approached him. Their nets were new, their boats shiny, but their faces were tired. "Teach us," they asked. "Give us your lucky net, or tell us the secret." Kareem smiled gently. He did not give them the maps, nor did he hand over his net. Instead, he invited them to sit with him by the shore. "This net is not lucky because of magic," he said, holding it up. "It is lucky because it has learned patience, just like me. It has been cast with respect, pulled with care, and mended with honesty. The sea rewards those who do not rush and do not take more than they need." He showed them how to repair nets instead of throwing them away, how to watch the tides, and how to return small fish to the water. He even shared some of the fish from his catch with families who had little to eat. Over time, the village changed. The sea remained generous, not just to Kareem, but to everyone who learned to listen to it. The fishermen stopped chasing quick fortune and started working with steady hearts. As for Kareem, he continued to fish with his old, patched net. The chest and maps were kept safely in his hut, used only when truly needed. To him, the greatest treasure was not hidden in the deep, but in the lesson the sea had taught him. And so the story of the fisherman's lucky net lived on not as a tale of sudden riches, but as a reminder that patience, respect, and kindness can turn even the simplest net into a fortune.